Okay, we're going to talk about the harmonized scale now. Since all major scales go whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whether we're starting on a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, or a D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, the whole step, half step pattern goes the same, which means the chords we can build in the scale, as long as it's a major scale, will remain the same. The one chord will be major, and the key is C. The chord that we can build on that first note, C, is going to be a major chord. That's the first note of the scale, 2, 3. The third note of the scale, 4, 5. That's root 3, 5. That makes a major chord. The second chord that we can build would be on the second note of the scale, and that's a D. And the second note of the scale is a D. Then we skip the third, which is an E, and we take the F, which is the fourth. We skip the fifth, and we take the A, which is a sixth. That gives us D, F, A, D minor. And the third chord is an E minor. The next chord's an F major, then a G7 or a G. You can put that 7 in it or not. And then an A minor, and then a B diminished, and then a C. So it goes major, the one chord's major, 2 chord minor, 3 chord minor, 4 chord major, 5 chord major with a 7 if you want it, 6 chord minor, 7 chord is a diminished chord, and I'm making it a diminished 7 because it's an easier fingering, and then a 1. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, which is major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, 1. Now if we practice our scales with the chords that go with each note, okay, so in other words, after you practice your scales, and you've done all the different positions that are on the web page, then briefly make sure you understand what chords go with those notes. Now that was in C. Now we'll go to D. In D, the D would be the one chord. Most people finger it like that. Don't let my fingerings throw you. That's 1. The 2 chord would be E. D, E, which is E minor. Then F sharp minor, G, A7, B minor, C sharp diminished, and then a D. And in E it would be E. And you know what? In E it's real easy to follow this because we can take our E form chord all the way up the neck. E major, 2 chord minor, 3 chord minor, 4 chords up a half step in major, that's A, then B, then C sharp minor, and then D sharp diminished, and then another E. So that full chord scale would be 1, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4, 5, 6 minor, 7 diminished, 1. Okay. F would be the same thing as E, just 1 fret up, but G, we're back down where we can do it in open position again. G, A minor, B minor, C, D, or most people finger it that way, or D7 if you wish, D, E minor, F sharp diminished, G. Now if you need to look at the diminished chord page, that's on the web page too, but if you can practice your scales, you'll eventually understand what we mean when we talk about the numbers. And if you say the numbers while you do it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Because I'll be referring to numbers a lot. And a lot of times you'll get into a band with some guys that talk numbers, and if they're saying it's a 2-5-1 resolution, then you know that the 2 chord is going to be minor. And let's say we're in G, that would be 2 minor, 5, 7, 1. Okay? And sometimes they'll say it's a 2 major 5-1, which is actually a 5 of a 5. But we'll get onto that later. But right now, look at that harmonized scale page, and if it didn't make sense to you before, now you know what it is. It's going to be major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. And the distance between the chords is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step.